Hello everybody, my name is Sarah and welcome back to Future Zoologist Academy. Today we're going to be exploring a highly intelligent animal, and this animal can typically be found high in the treetops in the rainforests of Asia. In fact, this animal happens to be the only great ape that lives in Asia. Today we're learning all about orangutans. Let's get into it. Orangutans are a genus of primate with three different species: the Bornean orangutan, the Sumatran orangutan, and the Tapanuli orangutan. And more specifically than just primates, orangutans are great apes. And like all great apes, and apes in general, something that makes them different than monkeys is that monkeys have a tail while apes do not. All three species of orangutans are found on two islands off the coast of Southeast Asia. These islands are Borneo and Sumatra. On these islands, orangutans can be found in tropical rainforests, and typically they're going to be found way up high in the treetops. Orangutans are arboreal, which is the word we use when an animal spends most of its life up in the trees. And orangutans have several adaptations that allow them to be so successful while moving around up in the treetops. One adaptation that helps orangutans live an arboreal lifestyle are their hands and their feet. Orangutans are often described as being four-handed because much like how our hands and their hands have opposable thumbs, so do their feet. And this helps them to climb, to grab onto tree branches or vines, but it also helps them collect resources like food. A second adaptation that helps orangutans move around up in the trees is having very long, very strong arms. This allows them to climb quickly up tree branches or to reach far distances between branches and vines, especially when they use their fastest form of locomotion, which is called brachiation. Brachiation is the word we use when we're talking about an animal swinging arm under arm between branches and vines. For any of my friends who have done the monkey bars at the playground and you go arm under arm between bars, you are brachiating, much like how an orangutan brachiates through the treetops. Being arboreal benefits orangutans in two main ways. The first reason it's so helpful for them to be up in the treetops is that's where their food is. Orangutans are frugivores, meaning most of their diet is fruit, though they will eat other things too, like bark and honey and eggs and a couple other items as well, but most of the time they're feeding on ripe fruit. And like most other frugivores, orangutans are very important in the rainforest because they are seed dispersers. Once they eat all that fruit, including the seeds inside, they move around the forest, going to the bathroom. They spread those seeds out in their poop, allowing new fruit trees to grow in different parts of the forest. Being arboreal also helps orangutans stay safe from predators. They happen to live in the same place as Sumatran tigers and clouded leopards and dholes. Each day, orangutans build a nest high up in the treetops where they can rest and stay away from all of those predators down below. Orangutans also have pretty good camouflage when they're high up in the treetops because their reddish-orange fur allows them to blend in to tree bark. Their reddish-orange fur is one of the biggest differences between them and other great apes, though we did say one of the other differences is that orangutans are the only great ape that lives in Asia. While they may not live by other great apes, they do have quite a few things in common with them. One of those things being, like all great apes, orangutans are highly intelligent. And scientists have documented dozens of behaviors that really prove how smart orangutans can be. Like other highly intelligent animals, orangutans have been observed creating and using tools to solve different problems, especially when it comes to getting food. We've also been able to tell how intelligent they are by seeing their impressive communication skills and documenting several occasions where they have an incredible memory of other orangutans or trees that fruit during specific times of the year. We've really been able to test their knowledge in captivity in places like zoos by giving them puzzles or other projects to solve using their giant brains. Another way that we know orangutans are so intelligent is by observing the relationship between mothers and their offspring. Orangutans have the second longest parent-offspring relationship of any primate, second to people. Most orangutans will stay with their moms until they're about 6 to 7 years old, but the female offspring will often stay longer, sometimes into their teen years. And these later years are very important for female offspring because this is the time where she's going to learn parenting behaviors that she'll use someday when she has her own offspring. And female orangutans are the ones who do almost all of the parental care. When baby orangutans are born, they cling to their mother's fur and they're completely reliant on her for all food and transportation until they're more than a year old. At about a year and a half, their climbing skills become more advanced. They're able to move around on their own and collect food on their own, but they'll stay with her until, again, they're about 6 to 7 years old, at which time the males go off on their own and the females may stay. Once the females do go off on their own to develop their own territory, they usually don't stray too far from their mother's territory, and they may even develop an overlapping territory very close to her and the other female relatives. Male offspring will usually go off much further because they need to find an area where they can eventually become the dominant male orangutan. A dominant male orangutan usually has a territory that overlaps with several females, and he indicates to them that he is the dominant male orangutan in the area in 2 ways. He has very large cheek flaps called flanges that only the dominant males develop. He also signals to them that he's in the area and dominant by using what is called a long call, a very loud vocalization that's extra loud because of a resonation chamber, a pouch underneath his chin that allows the sound to bounce around and makes it even louder as they call out through the forest. Orangutans are typically described as social but solitary because they do spend most of their time alone, which is more common for a solitary animal, but they will get together in larger groups, particularly during times of the year when food is abundant. Unfortunately, we see these gathering events where orangutans are getting together with abundant food becoming less and less common because of heavy deforestation on the islands of Borneo and Sumatra. The rainforests where orangutans live are being cleared to create space for palm oil plantations. Palm oil is an oil found in a wide variety of products, everything from food to lotion to makeup. And one of the best ways that you can protect orangutans and rainforests all around the world is by purchasing products that are made with sustainable palm oil. And to learn more about apps that can help you discover what products are sustainable and to learn about other ways that you can protect orangutans and rainforests, please be sure to visit our conservation corner using the link below to visit our website. All right, you guys, thank you so very much for joining me today to learn all about orangutans. If you'd like to learn even more, do quizzes, projects, activities, please be sure to click that link below to visit our website, and I can't wait to see you at our next lesson. Bye!